to another episode of Coffee Talk. I am one of your hosts, Matthew. Oh no, I said my last name. Bleep that, whoever edits this. Oh no. We can't say my last name here. I'll get fired. I'm joined by a couple of my fellow hosts, Brandon and Taryn. Fellas, how are you? How's your weekend going?
Oh, not bad. Pretty busy, but pretty good.
Hell yeah.
It has been
Brandon.
it has been okay.
I love that for you. I love that for you. I love you guys. I'm here. We're here. We're all together. Today.
Yeah. Well, in the digital space, but yes.
Yeah, we're not actually together. If we were, that would be pretty cool, though, right? I mean, technically we could be. We get together every now and then. Brandon could be here in 15 minutes.
One of these days we'll do
It's taking about an hour. Yeah.
One of these days we'll do a one-room recording.
Live. I thought about dropping by Matt's place and just doing, you know what? Let's do a double recording with.
We could do that. I have a mixer. We could do that. Brandon, you could come over too. We can do a 3-way recording on OBS. I can separate it all into. We could do that. Oh, we should have done that. God damn it. We should have done that. You were already over.
That's fine.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay.
We'll do it next time.
We'll
find it. We'll schedule it.
Next time. This is episode 19, by the way. We're almost to the big 2-0. We're almost old enough to. We're old enough to. We can't smoke. We can vote though.
Yeah.
A couple more episodes and we'll be able to smoke.
We can get shipped off to die in the Middle East.
Yeah, we can. We're gonna go die in Iran today. You guys hear about that yet?
Oh my God, no.
It's ramping up, guys. Contra number 2. Here we go. Up, down, down, left, right. BA, select. Drop a bunch of bombs on women and children. Am I right?
All right. Yeah, I was dropping the Konami code.
Let's get into the podcast. We got a lot of fun things. I got a little story to kick us off with. So yeah. Hell yeah.
1, 2, ready, go. What's the news? Hey, is there something new? What's the news? Say what you want to say.
So guys.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? It's been a long week, first of all. let's just get a little personal here. Your boy Matt, he's worked 12-hour days for the last 3 days, except yesterday. Yesterday was easy, and today was easy. But yesterday wasn't easy. Yesterday was another 11-hour day. But it's been a long week, all right? I left Thursday morning. I didn't get home until last night. So,
and you immediately edited another podcast episode.
I immediately continued to work on another thing. And on top of that, what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Oh, it's Sunday now, so I pretty much had today home. I've been home today, basically. So I got home last night, edited a podcast. But before I got home, I didn't text Brandon this. No, I did. I told Brandon I have a story. But I texted Taryn when I got home immediately, and I'm like, hey, I've got a story for the podcast. This sucks because I really want to tell it. And luckily, I really didn't have to work today much. So I get to tell it today. We're recording early, by the way.
Yes.
Do you guys ever have that feeling? Brandon, I don't know if you have yet. Do you have any stories that either of you, where you're like, I want to tell somebody about this, but I can't. I gotta wait.
Well, yeah. I have an update to one of your stories that you told. I think it was 2 episodes ago.
Oh.
So.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know that one. But this is. I'll say this is a Rishi Baron event, right here. At least in my life.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the first time it's
another
happened.
update back to back.
Not a Rishi Baron update. Have I told the story? We'll get back to Rishi. I'll send him a Christmas card or something. I'll send him an Easter card. Fuck Christmas cards.
You guys gotta become best buds.
I'm gonna say, God, fucking talking like Elmer Fudd over here. Shit. I'll send him a resurrection card. On Easter when that rolls around.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell the story on this podcast about the time I was driving my truck, and a man passed me, and he was just vigorously massaging his penis.
I don't know if this was told on the
No.
podcast, but I do know you've told me this story before.
Okay, I
You
think
have
I've
not
told.
said this on the podcast.
Okay, well, we'll tell it on the podcast.
We might have talked
One
about
day-
it when we were gaming.
One day,
Uh,
it's been maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. A man was. I'm going to keep it short, but this was down south of Kirksville, Missouri. Actually, south of Moberly, Missouri. Not too far, maybe 10 miles south. There was this guy acting all weird up in front of me in the left lane. He was slowing down and speeding up around people. And it got to me, all right? And he was slowing down. He got all the way behind me. And then he sped up and he turned his light on. And he had this like gross throbbing member in his hand. And he was like pointing at me. And he's like, look at it. Aha. You know, and he got his rocks off, I guess. I don't know. But I called the cops on. I pulled over, got my phone out, called the cops. The man also pulled over thinking like, oh, this guy wants to like,
he's interested.
yeah, he wants some of this. Oh, this never
he's
happens.
accepting your offer. Yeah.
I'm just going to pull over in front of him, and I call the cops, and, no, I don't think anything comes up. Like, I told him, like, there's a guy masturbating on the highway, and they didn't seem too perturbed about it. Like, oh, just another guy masturbating on the highway. That's totally cool. Well, we've had one flashing, yes, but how about a second flashing? Guys, last
Oh my
night.
God, you have. Was
This
the
is the-
same one?
No, actually, this is the opposite, because this is the kind of flashing I fucking want, guys. All right, I was driving home, same stretch of road, probably the exact same spot. This car pulled up next to me, honked at me. I got some nice boobs. All right, remember last week
Oh
on the
my God.
podcast, I was like, let's see them titties. I got to see some titties. Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Come on, Matt.
I had to say it. I had to tell somebody.
Uh,
It ruled, man. Made my night.
did it have to be on the podcast?
Yeah, of course. We talk about way worse stuff than just a random act.
Yeah,
of
that's
titties.
true, but
Yeah,
oh man.
we've talked about trains getting derailed, people getting assassinated. You know, I'm
yeah,
just-
but that's like just news stuff. Like that's like normal, depressing stuff.
Exactly. We just had to turn it around a bit, and we'll get into the depressing stuff.
You don't worry. I've
Yeah.
got one story that's I guess
Okay.
depending on how you feel about it, it's mildly depressing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a story as well. Actually, I think I'm going to save the update to Matt's story in a bit, because I think this next story actually segues from what Matt was saying pretty interestingly about the member.
Oh hell yeah.
And yeah. So, do you guys watch the Olympics?
No,
I watched a little bit of curling the other day. But
Yeah.
No, not
So
much.
this year's Olympics, well, it's kind of been stranglehold by the NBC, but that's neither here nor there. Not a lot of people were actually paying attention, but it's actually quite controversial because there's a number of cheating scandals that are happening across the Olympics.
I've noticed
One of them,
been a lot
one of them is the curling thing you mentioned, where like I think Canada booped the curling. That's the best way I
yeah,
can.
they're both out there.
phrase-
The men's and women's team just booping it.
Yeah, they
Booping the
booped
stone.
little curling. Yeah,
Booping the stone.
that's
that's
the
what it's
best
called,
way I
right?
can
The
explain
stone.
it.
I think it is. He's just booping the stone.
And
Is funny.
I believe it was across the line. Well, that's not the quite story I was going to talk to you about. I was going to talk to you about the ski story. How much do you guys know about this?
The ski.
I've not heard
story.
this.
I've never heard of
Go
this.
ahead.
Okay, so you guys know the ski jumping where like the skiers like jump off of a massive ramp and then they fly for like, I don't know, 100 or 200 feet or whatever, and they land on a slope.
Yeah.
No. What are we talking
You know?
about? No, I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you.
It's like, what's it's pretty common. It's trying to get the most distance you possibly can.
Yeah.
Well, because it's the Olympics and because this is like a heavily regulated sport, because people could make doping or whatever, trying to cheat in any of the competition, any way to get an advantage. This story is kind of fascinating because, as Matt said about, someone's member, well, it turns out a lot of men in this sport were injecting a certain chemical into, well, their member and making it bigger. And the reason why they would want to do this is, I'm not kidding, this is a little weird, but their body has to be 3D scanned. Okay, for those who do not know, their body has to be 3D scanned because they're trying to get a uniform that is like skin tight for these athletes. Okay.
So they're hog doping to get like wind flaps.
Close, yeah. And it has actually been proven that everything in like this between the uniform and the skis themselves, they're all very, very regulated. Like the length of your ski is like down to like the inch.
The length of your ski can only be 3 times the length of your hog. That's what I've heard.
No, not that. But the ski, everything is down to like the inch for like regulation purposes. And they like weigh the athletes, they have a 3D scan, and then they get their uniform made. And some people try to modify their uniform. And what they do is in their crotch region, and this is a very particular interesting area for aerodynamics because it's close to the center mass, they're making basically a makeshift little kite from their extra material, because obviously when they're competing, they're not going to be, well, erect. Right. So hopefully that loose fabric is actually like a kite getting them further in the length of which they're trying to jump. So this has been sparking a whole controversy across the Olympics.
You would say they're ween gliding?
Yes, they are ween gliding. Yes.
Yeah. Sick pun.
The extra fabric down there, and I think for every centimeter of extra fabric is like meters of extra length of their jump. Pretty interesting story, I think.
So what did you say they're injecting? It's like an erectile dysfunction medication, or is it like...
No, it's...
Are they just pumping a bunch of caulk up in there?
No, it's like, actually... I had the chemical name.
Is it
hydro... It's some type of acid. It's not actually burning acid or anything.
Putting acid?
No, it's not. It ends in acid.
Okay.
Hydrolone or hydroloic acid or something like that. Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing that they use for like Alzheimer's. No, sorry. What is it? Where joint pain. Yeah.
Arthritis.
Joint pain. Arthritis. That's the word. Yes. Big difference. Big difference. Joint pain. Or knee pain, they can inject it into your knee and then it causes a little bit of relief there. It's the same kind of chemical. And yes, it does improve blood flow. And people are using that to before they're getting 3D scanned, because their uniform will be slightly bigger when obviously the 3D scan is bigger. And their uniform will be loose down there when they're flying. That's the idea.
They're just taking it straight to the genitals.
They are.
Gosh,
Brandon, this is the sort of thing. This is the sort of thing we're going to find out years later is just destroying their dicks.
Probably.
They're gonna have like garbage cock or something like that.
But I mean, they won. They win an Olympic gold medal. They're fine. They got the medal.
Did they win?
I don't know.
Is that how the cheating was discovered, or was it like?
Let me pull it up again. I had it here.
Is this Olympics as horny as Olympics past? Have there been reports?
Oh my god, I don't know. Let me pull it up.
Didn't they run out of condoms at the fucking Olympics this year?
That too, yeah. It's been, yeah.
So it is.
It's been reported, yeah. Let's go with uniform. We can cut this bit out here.
No, we're not going to cut it out. Brandon, Brandon, okay. If you had to inject this stuff into your penis or into your finger, which would you do it to make it bigger? Big finger, big penis. So that's a bad question. Obviously, penis.
I'll
Oh my
take
God.
What?
Obviously.
I'll take my finger.
What? What do you need?
I don't know what this is gonna. I don't know what this is gonna do to my dick, dude.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair.
Okay.
For all I know, it's just gonna like rot and fall off in 5 years if I do that. Not like I'm using it anyway, but still.
I did pull up the article just to double check here, and it's hyaluronic acid, which is not banned in sport, but could be used to increase penis circumference by 1 to 2 centimeters.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure that's like a face cream that I've got in my in my medicine.
It could be
cabinet.
used for cosmetics too. Yes,
You're telling me I could have had a. You're telling me I could have been doing that this whole time. You're fucking telling me that that's just in there.
Yeah. So this whole controversy has been dubbed the name Penisgate. I'm not kidding.
Penisgate. Shout out. Oh, I love a good Penisgate.
Guys, can
Oh
we
my
stop
God.
calling every fucking controversy X-gate or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real. It was
yeah.
named after Watergate, which is a
Yes.
hotel,
Yeah.
which the gate has nothing to do with it. You know, you might as well call it like Penis Holiday Inn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
So earlier this week, this is a couple weeks ago because the Winter Olympics are over with, I think. The World Anti-Doping Agency said it could investigate if evidence emerges that athletes are injecting their penises with hyaluronic acid. Before the start of each season, ski jumpers are measured using 3D body scans in which they must wear an only elastic bodysuit or tight underwear. Rules state that their suits must have a tolerance of only 2 to 4 centimeters. As part of the measuring process, their crotch height is also measured.
So this
The
is
crotch
like
height-
a known thing that like they're like
Yes.
on the watch for.
Well, they want to make sure the uniform is tight to their body for drag and like air resistance for when they're competing. This is like no different than let's say a runner doing the marathon run. Like they want to make sure they're or I guess a swimmer with the skull cap on their head. They want to decrease drag when they're swimming. That's just a whole competition thing. But yes, this is known about, and there is obviously the controversy with the Olympics of people doping. Obviously, you mentioned Lance
Right.
Armstrong. Yeah, I don't think Lance Armstrong should, have his medals, but that's just me.
Well, the way I kind of look at Lance Armstrong, like I also feel the same way, but it is a thing where I think they were like, yeah, everybody was doing it. So in like
Yeah.
one way, it's like he should keep the medals, but they all should have asterisks next to them, and
Yeah.
it'd be like
Not
everybody
valid.
was doing it. He was better than everybody who was also doing it. Like
True.
it was one of those things. But like, yeah, I still don't think he should be able to compete. Obviously
Yeah.
should be barred. And I don't know. I don't really have a big thing about it. But what he was doing, do you know what he was doing? The stuff he was doing?
Not in particular, no.
He was taking super oxygenated blood and transplanting it into his body. So he would go in, he would get like dialysis kind of thing. Like they would take his blood out and they would put new blood in with extra oxygen in it. It was called blood doping. And that's something
then-
Brandon's really familiar with. He does that
Oh, wow.
I think every morning.
Brandon's
to go
been holding out on us, the secret of the youth,
Well, I don't see you motherfuckers biking.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I have to keep my joints up when I go walking. All right.
That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
He's got to get out there. He's got to go to the world.
Do you know how cold it is outside right now?
And you know what my stupid ass did today? I went walking.
Do you, Brandon, when you go walking, do you measure it like in the distance, or do you just go? Like, do you
I
have,
just
like, a goal,
go.
or
I
you just go?
sort of have a standard route that I take.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then depending on how I'm feeling, I may deviate, take a slightly longer route, or just kind of shorten it.
Yeah.
Depends on how much blood he injected before. But yeah.
You
Exactly.
ever run into any violent dogs on your walk,
Um,
mailman style?
no, but I was walking home from the local pancake day one time, and I did get bit on the back of my thigh by a dog.
Ow.
Jesus Christ! What'd you do? You kill it? Kill the dog?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I
Oh,
really
animal
should. I should
control
have
had
said
the dog put
something.
down?
I should have fucking done that, dude. That thing.
Yeah.
I
dude.
was walking on this fucking sidewalk. I had gone off the side to get away from the dog, and it still leapt out and was able to nip me on the thigh.
Fucking chihuahuas,
That
man.
sucks.
It was not a Chihuahua, dude. It was not a small dog.
Ah,
Oh.
probably like-
I should have fucking said something, but I didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been a child.
Yeah.
Been a child, Brandon. You could have been a child. You could have ripped your tongue out. I remember where we grew up. There were a lot of rumors of when I was a kid. There were like dogs running around, and they bit a girl, and they were just out there. My mom was real scared for a summer. I don't know if you remember that, Brandon, or maybe that was just my mom being paranoid.
I don't, but I do remember. I don't want to derail everything with it, but I did have this like small shitty dog back in the day that would chase me around town. I think
Was it
I've
just you in particular? It just hated you.
well, I don't know if it went after anyone else. It's like a small fat fucking wiener dog would just
That weird. I don't think
Yeah.
that ever chased me. There were those little bulldogs up by the park. Those would always run at me when I was riding my bike. But I don't remember a small fat wiener dog.
it was when I was a teenager.
Oh.
So
It's probably dead now. Don't worry. You outlived it.
yeah, probably.
She's gone.
Fuck that dog.
Brandon hates dogs. Hates Toto. Hates all dogs.
Yeah. Well, Brandon, you said you had a story?
Yeah. Another guy got shot going over at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I heard about that today. Yeah.
Yeah, he jumped the
go
fence
ahead.
at like 1:30 in the morning with a shotgun and fucking shotgun and a gas canister.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's someone
intense.
invaded Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. He had a gun. Was it Secret Service that killed him? I don't know.
Melania.
This BBC this independent UK article says police. Just says police. Or no, Secret Service agents. Yeah.
SS. Shout out.
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
I had no idea that happened. That was this morning.
Yeah, that was this morning.
Yes. Yes.
Dang.
As of the your recording. An armed man drove into a secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago, President Donald Trump's resort in Palm Beach, Florida, before being shot and killed earlier Sunday morning, according to a spokesman of the U.S. Secret Service. Although Trump often spends his weekends at his resort, he was at the White House when the breach occurred around 1:30 a.m. Oh, I should clarify. I'm reading from AP News. So,
Who's it by? The Associated Press? Is that just?
yeah, it's written by Michael L. Prince and Alan G. Breed.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
the man had a gas can and a shotgun. Authorities says investigators identified him as a 21-year-old Austin trucker, Martin of North Carolina. According to the FBI, and authorities said his family had recently reported him missing. He is believed to have purchased his shotgun while driving south. Secret Service spokesman Anthony Giuliani said, and a box of weapons was later discovered in the man's vehicles, investigators have not identified a motive. However, Trump has faced threats to his life before, including 2 assassination attempts during the 2024 campaign. Should we do a No, we're going to get canceled. We're going to get investigated by the Secret Service.
we can cut this out. We can cut it out.
Oh my God. What did I do?
What did you do? What did the Mexican government do? They killed. They killed a man. they killed
Great
a cartel
segue.
boss. I fucking suck at the segues, man. I'm not good at them. I'm not good at segues. All right, this is from an article on the New York Times.
Yep.
I don't know who it's by. It is by Jack Nikas and Paulina Villegas. So
Okay.
this guy, Mexico, what am I talking about? Mexican government took out a cartel leader who is named El Mincho, was the longtime head of one of the nation's most powerful cartels. Armed groups set fire to cars and buildings across Mexico in the wake of his death. Cartel members real pissed off about this. They're like, "God damn it, you killed the man making all the fentanyl." I don't know why I'm talking like that. Okay, so let's get in. I'm editorializing the cartel. I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to put words in their mouth, you know. The Mexican government. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how dare you put words in the Mexican cartel's mouth? The Sinaloas are going to be pissed.
Yeah, well, this isn't the Sinaloas. I can't remember. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's a different one. This is on the western side. I believe the Sinaloa is like the northern, or maybe it's the
Are
southern
you reading
side.
the essay?
Yeah, here we go. Here's the New York Times. The Mexican government said it killed the nation's most wanted cartel boss on Sunday, setting off a wave of fires and violence across the country as cartel operatives sought to exact revenge in an unsettling show of force. Okay, I'm going to get this wrong for sure. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, also known as El Mincho, was the longtime leader of one of Mexico's most powerful cartels, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, and was widely regarded as one of the country's most violent criminal figures. He presided over a criminal enterprise that has expanded rapidly over the past decade, producing and selling drugs, extorting local businesses, and terrorizing communities across the countries. There's a lot more here on the New York Times. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a long article, but I recommend looking into this because this is one of those things in the world, I think, that happens every now and then where like a domino falls and who knows what happens next. Either some sort of reform happens or things get worse. But if you've seen pictures of this, I don't think we'll post any. We can. But they just went scorched earth on this city, man. Like they're
Oh
they're
no.
arresting people like the government did, but the cartel did actually. They're the ones that are like retaliating by burning stuff and blowing people up and just fighting back. It's crazy. Any cartel opinions out there?
They're bad.
Yeah, cartels very bad.
Based opinion, guys. They're bad.
Though the craziest thing about Mexico, I don't know if either of you have you ever gone onto like Google Earth or Google Maps and done like Street View in Mexico?
I have
No.
seen Mexico, yes, but not in person.
Specifically in cities. If you ever look it up, like you go to like Mexico City or any of their big cities, it looks like any American city. But then you go to like small towns and it does kind of look shitty in some of them. But
Yeah.
that's the scary thing I think about Mexico, is that it is no matter what the United States government says about Mexico, it is a developed nation, but it is run truly by criminals.
Yes.
They've got public, they got a whole ass government.
It's-
They've got,
Very corrupted, yes.
yeah, like you said, it's very corrupted. Police kind of expect bribes if you ever get pulled over, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Politicians just get assassinated on the week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They get assassinated. It's anytime they do anything that could help people, fight back. But it is a developed country. Most of these countries are. The countries that Donald Trump considers a shithole country are developed in some way, even if they're third world. The third world's getting smaller and smaller. The more technology we have. So it's maybe the people aren't as educated, but many of them, they go to like Walmarts or Walmart equivalents and buy their groceries just like you and I.
Yeah, of course.
Or there's probably corner stores and stuff too that they go to. But that's
Markets.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, that it's all there, and this is happening. This is happening there, and it's terrifying. That's just a little Mexican update.
So
For
guys,
anybody,
don't go singing songs about the cartel. Chelino Sanchez made that mistake. Fucking call
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
we tie it into the assassinations draft. Chelino
Yes.
Sanchez This is similar area. No, it's not. He was the Sinaloa guy. I think that's north of here. But yeah, that's my Mexico update. Taryn,
Yes,
you wanna
I
kick
have.
it off with the update from the week before, a week or two ago?
I could do
Or
either.
another one. Do another one.
yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. So this is going to segue into the corruption bit a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of Russia Ukraine update. This is a smallish story. I just found it interesting. So Russia's assets have been frozen. They have been for years because they're obviously invading Ukraine.
Yes.
It's about $300 billion
Wait, what?
worth of it's about $300 billion worth of assets that's been frozen. This has been frozen for a few years now, obviously since they started invading Ukraine. And the way the structure works under the what the money is doing in the accounts. So it is actually still accruing interest. However, the interest that it's accruing, it's not being added to that amount. That interest amount is going to the nations that are being affected, like Ukraine. So that is a relief effort amount,
Right.
which is nice. However, what has never been done before is now that money that is being frozen is now being used to also fund Ukraine with some contingencies. This has not been done before because there had to be a series of the UK policies that had to pass in order to do this. But I found it very interesting when two nations go to war, and then obviously if there's sanctions against one, then their assets are frozen, and what happens with that money. Because obviously Russia has their own currency and the ruble, and they could sell oil to China and skirt around the frozen assets, but this is what the assets are in USD. And obviously the US dollar is frozen for them,
Right.
and they can't do anything with it. Well, as of about a month ago, I think, $60 billion of the $300 billion is now being aided to Ukraine with some contingencies.
Right.
Obviously, Ukraine has had a history of corruption. One of the most recent one was, I think, the head of the nuclear science, like nuclear power, like for reactors, was taking bribes or pocketing money or basically siphoning off the top. So there was a huge corruption scandal there. And they Ukraine, to their credit, has formed a council that's investigating these corruption scandals, which is good.
Yeah. A lot of the corruption in Ukraine began before, I believe, Zelensky.
Yes.
It's pretty much since Ukraine was a country. Like it's kind of like
Yeah.
Russian holdovers, oligarchs still holding
Yeah.
power. It's a
Yeah.
lot of that. It's not. I don't know. A lot of
Yeah.
people point to that as like why Russia should gain control again, but it's also like that. It's just Russia. That's Russian corruption.
Yes.
You know.
It's hard to distinguish a little bit of the Ukraine history and keeping it separate from Russia history, because like it used to be a part and then they want to be separate, and then whether or not they're allowed to be separate is a different story. And then obviously who's in charge of said country, well, they're going to probably lean more towards Russian because of like Russian heritage. There's a whole like argument that can be made of like, well, you should still respect your heritage. You should still like, I understand that. But if Ukraine wants to be solely independent from Russia, which is their posture, and it has been for the last 3 decades, then they need to tackle the corruption, and they have been recently doing that the last few months. And that contingency of the 60 billion, they can use this money in different ways. Obviously they have to rid the corruption as one of the conditions. There's other ones, I can't remember them off the top of my head, but the money they can use is they can go to the UK or other allies and buy defensive weapons. And if they cannot buy it from, let's say, the UK, they can go to third party, which opens them up to, let's say, the United States, because obviously the United States has the leading developing world nation arms like of the world. Like, we are a powerhouse when it comes to war like that. We have so many defensive weapons.
Got a
They can buy them.
discombobulator, all that stuff.
They can buy them from us retail price now, which is good.
MSRP. Hell yeah.
Well, it gives them that avenue. Before,
Right.
they were reliant on us giving it to them. Now they can
But
just
now
straight
they
up
can
buy
just go
them.
buy it. Yeah. And how much you said? 60 billion? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Quite a bit
few, That's a few
of
F-22s.
Russia, of
whatever.
Russian money. Yes, that they're
Yeah.
just, you know what? Here's 60 billion.
Yeah.
And I think the UK is taking a portion, like another portion of that as well, because they have been affected by Russia as well, with Russians' economy fucking everything all up. So,
Right.
yeah, the whole thing is a little weird, and it's still developing. I mean, with massive changes, like when it comes to billions of dollars and the fluctuations of markets, it's going to be a little wonky, and we're not going to get the whole clear picture until probably years later of the outcome. But I think overall, this is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
Russia, is doing the fucked up thing, invading Ukraine, and Ukraine is finally getting a little piece of Russian money.
Right,
I think that's the least they could.
why hold their money for them whenever they decide to behave? Why not just say
Yeah.
fuck you and
Yeah.
use it for a good thing? I agree.
And to Ukraine's credit, I think they've done way, way, way better than anybody could ever imagine fighting Russia.
Mhm.
I think the whole
Yeah.
world thought Ukraine was going to get steamrolled in the first 2 years.
I think the whole world thought Russia was a powerhouse. But hold on. I will say, to be fair to both sides, war is a lot harder than people make it out to be. You know
Of
what
course, yes.
Like, Vietnam stonewalled us. Not because we weren't killing a lot of people, because we killed hundreds of thousands of people in Vietnam. But there's like a home field advantage. You got guerrilla fighters.
Yeah.
You got people,
Yes.
on a defensive who, if you have if you have SAM turrets, if you have, surface to air missiles, stuff like that, air defense missiles, you can do a lot. If you never let the enemy team establish air
A foothold.
superiority,
Yeah.
you're always coming back because you got people like the United States or the UK
Mhm.
on your back. It's
Yeah.
hard to beat that, even if it's a small force you're fighting against.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably something about like, don't invade Russia in the winter. I think that also falls into like Ukraine. It's probably not easy for either of them to fight through the winter. So Russia has to supply, through enemy lines to the people on the front line.
Yeah.
Whereas Ukraine is just there. Go ahead.
There's a few statistics that have been taken throughout time for like what is an acceptable loss in war. When you talk about like the bloodiest wars in history, like World War I, World War II, obviously, World War I especially, but
The
you
Emu
can
War
kind
in Australia.
well, yeah, yes. You can do statistics of how many soldiers you have and how many soldiers the enemy has and what ratio is an acceptable loss, like 3-1, 1 to, like how many people are you willing to sacrifice in order to complete your mission? Well, usually I think on average it's like a 3-1 when you're on the attacking force. Like for every 3 people you get 1. Well, reportedly Russia has been failing that dramatically. It's more like a 5-1. So
Right.
it's not great for Russia.
Even on that, I've listened to a podcast. It was a Behind the Bastards podcast about that sort of thing. Like, how many people do you have to kill before the morale just breaks?
Yes.
And it turns out that there probably isn't a number. Like, you have to kill everybody or something like that, or just you have to kill enough people to just take over. because
Yeah.
no matter how much we bombed Japan, no matter how much we bombed Germany, no matter how many civilians we killed, they didn't stop until we literally, cut the Nazis out of them, ran them
Yeah.
out. The morale thing about the losses, it's
The
not.
you brought up Vietnam, and I actually
Yeah.
watched a small little short talking about Vietnam traps that were laid by the Vietnamese that U.S. soldiers would fall into, and they're obviously gruesome, and like you just fall into like a pit of spikes and stuff. It's bad, but the method in which the spikes were used is actually a little bit more gruesome than you think. They actually had a barb at the end, so if you were to pull out the spike, it would dig more flesh away from you. And if you were to survive those injuries and get medevaced out of the combat zone, the horror stories that you would tell to your other people of what you suffered through breaks down morale from internal structures. And then you had like all these 18-year-olds that were drafted into the war that didn't want to fight in this war because they knew it was bad. So you had bad policy mixed with gruesome, grotesque defense.
Yeah,
and
mixed
it's just
with people who didn't want to be there in the first place.
yes.
That's why I never pull out. So don't be a bitch.
Not how I thought you were gonna say. That's funny. I do have one other update for you. This is about the airplane, the airports that got shut down. This is not a great segue at all, but so you mentioned that the El Paso airport was shut down.
And they
couple weeks ago.
posited it was a drone from a cartel, right? That's what it was
Yes,
supposed to
that's-
be. That's what it said
Yes.
in our article. I mean,
Yes, that's what we said. Yep. Well, there was an update to this. It was the sudden closure of El Paso airspace Wednesday came sometime after the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials used an anti-drone laser that was provided by military to shoot down objects that were later identified as party balloons.
Hell yeah.
4 people familiar with the matter said. So the reason as to why we shut down an entire airport was because people were celebrating and having a couple parties and some balloons floated away.
the lasered balloons. They used a Star Wars weapon.
Yes.
How much is this costing the taxpayers?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
What are we doing, guys?
Um,
I guess you can't. I mean, you're better off shooting balloons down than. Are you though? I don't know.
I guess it's better than shooting a minority.
Yeah, yeah. At
That's
least that
true.
didn't happen.
So
Again.
the technology was used without coordinating with officials from Federal Aviation Administration, the people said. The testing of U.S. military-owned laser technology was taking place in the proximity of the airport. The FAA responded by issuing temporary flight restrictions notice, which was to shut down the airspace for 10 days to prevent flights, including helicopters, for using medical transport below 18,000 feet. The airport is a major hub for the region, which we kind of talked about, with more than 50 flights scheduled every day. The airspace was reopened several hours later Wednesday morning. That decision prompted confusion at a finger pointing inside the Trump administration who was to blame.
Okay.
So,
Taryn, we have a special thing right here. Brandon
Yeah.
happens to be one time an expert of lasers. Brandon, what kind of laser would be used to do this sort of thing? What do you think?
God, if I know. It has been like 10 years, my guy. It has been 10
oh,
years.
come on. You went to college for laser technicians. You must retain some of it.
Is
God,
it one of them? Is it one of them yellow lasers? Do you think? That's all.
Is
I
it
know
the
about
green
lasers.
one? The
You know,
red ones?
Honestly, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could
purple?
tell you.
Damn.
I
Well,
did a presentation in class at one point about
yeah.
the possibility of using lasers to clear like space debris,
Oh, that's pretty
Ooh.
sick.
like
That's
this
cool.
floating around orbit. That way, it's not putting holes in the ships we send up.
That's true. Yeah.
Brandon's just being modest. He helped develop the weapon. He knows all about it.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
under
the
an
one
NDA.
he's the one that shot the party balloon down.
Yeah. Yeah.
He flew to El Paso, had to, figure out the airspace was shut down. He's like, wait, I got this covered.
I had a little tequila that day.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I can keep reading this article if you'd like.
Yeah, finish it up.
So at this point, the details of what exactly occurred over El Paso are unclear, said Cruz. This is Senator Ted Cruz of Texas.
Boo.
He wasn't off in Cancun.
Go to Cancun, you asshole.
Yeah.
It's winter
FAA
time.
Administrator Brian Bedford was on Capitol Hill on Wednesday evening for a scheduled closed-door meeting and refused to answer a reporter's question about the closure. He said he would respond to Cruz's request once he receives it. One of the people familiar with testing said the Defense Department has a working relationship with Homeland Security, where CBP is headquartered. This allows its personnel to use certain military equipment for its objective testing, evaluation, and use along the southern border. So
this was a CBP thing, though, and they were just like, let's just use this over an airport, so they have to issue a thing.
Yeah.
What a bunch of chodes. Just short and round as hell.
Yeah.
Damn
Recently,
them.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth authorized the use of the weapon for CBP. The people said spokespeople of the CBP referred to questions to the White House, which did not elaborate beyond initial statements. Initially, a Trump administration official and some lawmakers said the airspace has been closed because the U.S. military had shot down a cartel drone, which we talked about in the podcast. Administration officials maintained that this was the case, but obviously people found out. The people familiar with the matter said this was not true, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum
Nailed
said
it.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Said Wednesday there was no indication that the cartel drones were operating near the border.
He's like, I know where they are, and they were not there.
Yeah.
I was waiting for my cocaine to come in, and it was late. I will give him that, but it was nowhere near the border.
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. All right, it was just some balloons. That's good.
Yeah, right. It's like she goes, you know what? They weren't on the border because I know they were in Panama. We had to get the drugs from Panama. So they were getting a resupply.
Right. It's like those drones don't ever cross the border. They keep shooting them down. They're too expensive. They only go south. They come from Colombia through Panama and into Mexico City.
I don't know. Up Mexico City, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I know where my fucking drones are, bro. It's like, you guys are lying so hard right now. All right, here's my update. Another story. Yep. Okay. Oh, what do we want? What do we want here? Do we want happy or do we want possibly bad? This will be the last update.
Let's do possibly bad. Yeah,
possibly bad. Okay. Steam Horsefest. Steam Horsefest is on now through February 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time. A horse is a horse, of course, in this fest, but so are unicorns, donkeys, and more. Guys, Horsefest is on. Wow. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. Did you know the Horsefest is on, though?
I did not know that.
No,
Yeah.
I did not know this was a thing.
A horse get launched by a trebuchet. That's crazy. Yeah, it's on. It's
What?
here.
Wait. A horse launched by a trebuchet?
You can't just
What?
Yeah, it was there. It just got launched by a trebuchet. Open up Steam right now. Look at it. It's this. It's called the Rustler. We can cut this part out while we're looking at it. But a horse just got launched by a trebuchet. Yeah, it gets on there.
Okay, I thought you were talking like a real world event happening somewhere, not a fucking a Steam sale or something.
Okay, no, the real world event, of course. Get back into serious talk. Phil Spencer. This is from IGN.com by Ryan McCaffrey. Phil
Yes,
Spencer
the big story.
retiring. Sarah Bond is out. Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec, or promoted as Microsoft AI exec. Asha Sharma named new Xbox boss. So Matt Booty is promoted. He's not the AI exec. That's Asha Sharma. So, yeah, have you? So you guys have already heard about this. I won't read too much into it. We'll read the opening blurb here, and we'll just talk
Discuss.
about how crazy this all is. So.
Yep.
Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, who has been at Microsoft since he joined as an intern in 1988, and with Xbox since the software giant launched its first console in 2001, is retiring. Sources familiar with the matter, who are not authorized to speak publicly, confirmed to IGN. Spencer's retirement is effective on Monday, February 23rd. Meanwhile, Xbox president Sarah Bond, long thought by many both inside and outside of Microsoft to be Spencer's heir apparent, has resigned. The new CEO of Microsoft Gaming will be Asha Sharma, currently the president of Microsoft's Core AI product. Finally, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty is being promoted to Chief Content Officer and will work closely with Sharma. That's the end of that blurb there. First off, this is the worry that I've had the whole time. Xbox has kind of been on the downhill because it's like,
Yep.
Phil Spencer, maybe not making the best stuff, but like he is truly a game. I don't know if you guys know this, but he is a gamer. He's got like hundreds and hundreds of hours in all kinds of games, like Starfield. You know, he's a legitimate gamer. So it's like, what happens when Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, is like, all right, Xbox, you have to either fucking nut up or shut up. And when that happens, the person that's coming in is not going to be a Phil Spencer. They're not.
No.
I'm
It's
worried,
going to be.
guys.
So, my prediction, and I think I'm going to be pretty correct here, is for the short term, they're going to pretend like everything's A-okay. They're going to try to release like their grand year with like Fable, Halo, Forza, and their like 25 years at Xbox. They're going to try to be A-okay, everything's perfectly fine, while behind the scenes, they're going to dismantle the company from within and they're going to churn AI slop. That's my prediction.
Right. You say that, but here's what the new CEO of Xbox says, or the president or whatever. This is her statement. Here, where is it at? Today marks. Oh wait, that's that guy. Where is it? Fuck. Okay. Well, I've lost the spot. We can cut this out. Hold on. Let me look it up. Where did she say? Let me look it up. Sharma's statement. Xbox. Because she said she wasn't going to do the stuff. But I'm so sorry, guys. I just derailed
That's
it.
fine.
Where did the fucking letter go? There it is. Okay, here's what. Okay, this is where we cut in. This is Asha Sharma's message. She says this is what she emailed. I'll read the whole thing. I'll go kind of fast. She says, "Dear team, today I begin my role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. I feel two things at once, humility and urgency. Humility because this team has built something extraordinary over decades. Urgency because gaming is in a period of rapid change and we need to move with clarity and conviction. I am stepping into work shaped by generations of artists, engineers, designers, writers, musicians, operators, and more who create worlds that have brought joy and deep personal meaning to hundreds of millions of players. The level of craft here is exceptional, and it is amplified by Xbox, which was founded in the belief that the power of games connects people and pushes the industry forward. Thank you to Phil for his leadership and to every studio, platform, and operations team that built this foundation. We are stewards of some of the most loved stories and characters in entertainment and bring players and creators together around the fun and community of gaming in entirely new ways. My first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it. That starts with 3 commitments. First, great games. Everything begins here. We must have great games beloved by players before we do anything. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel, innovative gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises, and back bold new ideas. We will take risks. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value grounded in what players care about most. I promoted Matt Booty in honor of this commitment. He understands the craft and the challenges of building great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of game developers across the industry. Second, the return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who build the expansive universes and experiences that are embraced by players across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox and to the developers who build ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of the communities we serve. We will break down barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. Third, future of play. We are witnessing the revolution of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have: iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Games are and always will be art, crafted by humans and created with the most innovative technology provided by us. The next 25 years belong to the teams who dare to build something surprising, something no one else is willing to try, and have the patience to see it through. We have done this before, and I'm here to help us do it again. I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. It will require us to relentlessly question everything, revisit processes, protect what works, and be brave enough to change what does not. Thank you for welcoming me into this journey, Asha. So, guys, any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe it.
Yeah, she's saying the right things.
I can see the dog already getting taken out back behind the shed.
Yeah, like Blue Point just the other day, PlayStation Studio just got fucking killed. Say goodbye to Tim Schafer's studio. I can't remember their name right now. Say goodbye to anything. I mean, what hasn't put out a banger, like a certified banger? The people that make South of Midnight, the people that make Hellblade, the people. Let me just open up the Xbox app. Go ahead, Brandon, and complete your thought if you have.
That was my thought.
Okay.
So something I wanted to mention was part of her message. She says, to meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we have iconic teams, characters, in a world that people love. So the problem I have is she says invent new business models. All right. Mm-hmm. And then later she goes, we will not treat these worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. Okay. I can't see how. So sorry. I know how greedy Microsoft is already with, Xbox Game Pass or even DLC or even just live service, pushing everything to be more and more and more greedy. If you are not around whenever the launch of MCC, that was a big blunder because Halo is obviously the flagship title for Microsoft, and MCC was the biggest blunder that they had because Microsoft jumped the gun and gave them 9 months to release the entire series when they were working with Halo 2 remaster, and then 9 months before release they go, we want everything.
Right. What should have been what would you call it? Like a celebratory moment of look at all these games coming to one place. This is fantastic. It all works. Instead, it was just a piece of shit for biggest 5
blunder.
years.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the team that fixed Halo MCC, fucking admirable. I mean, I would not want to take that shit for years and years and years, knowing you're trying your best, and then finally getting it into position of playable, and then people choose to play MCC rather than like say Halo Infinite now, which that is kind of the majority. People still flock to MCC because it has all of them rather than
Right.
the live service model of Halo Infinite. And
Right.
people are fed up with live services. I genuinely think people are fed up with it. Now it might take a while before that churn into like action that game developers will have to be forcing to reckon with, but that will be the sentiment.
Right. Yeah,
Over the
they're going to
next-
have to be like, it looks like people don't actually want to just keep paying $10 every month for a
Yes.
game that kind of isn't great.
Yes.
You know?
And the same could be said with Game Pass. Like after when they up Game Pass, just this whatever it was, fucking this year. God,
Yeah.
it's
Well, it was last year, wasn't it? The end of
I think it was going into effect.
it's
Was
like
it?
the third quarter? Or no, it goes into effect. Yeah, that's right.
It was going into effect whenever. Yeah, and well,
Maybe it already did. I don't know.
they. Yeah, no, it's already in effect, but it was going into effect. Maybe it was November, December, or something like that. And we know they're chasing greed, but when you have like a banger, like we mentioned in the podcast, Hollow Knight, being what $30 or was
That's
it $40?
It's $20.
Yeah, and Game Pass is how much?
$30
And
a
how-
month
Yeah, so
for the
you
ultimate.
have
$20
an
for a
amazing story game that you could flat out own on Steam for $20, or you have a subscription to the game for $30. Now, granted, there's more to it with the subscription. You can have a whole catalog. We
Right.
mentioned this. We talked about this before. But
Yeah.
the fact is that I'm using the word own loosely here because we don't actually
Depends where
own
you
digital
buy it.
content. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't own digital content because it's licensed anyways. That's a whole other issue. But when you have them pushing more and more and more to greed, you can see people starting to pull away. And that's what started Xbox to lose the console wars in the first place. They lost the console wars when they didn't treat Halo right. They lost the console wars when they shoved 343 or even I guess Bungie to the side at the time and said,
Yeah.
fuck you guys and do what we want.
Right.
And then you can see how people didn't liking Destiny for a bit with Microsoft owning it, and then Destiny gets out of it, and
Well-
then they go to
Activision.
Activision, yeah.
Destiny was it didn't come out under Microsoft. They left before that. They left after Reach, I believe.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
Released Destiny.
But you could
still,
see
yeah.
how they were trying to claw out from Microsoft's thumb.
Yeah, they left
only to go
Microsoft
to-
and then went to Activision, and arguably probably
and then
worse decision.
Microsoft bought Activision.
Yeah, but
So-
they got bought by PlayStation before Microsoft bought
That is true.
Activision. So
That's true.
yeah, the Bungie left not because they wanted to leave. I think they left because Microsoft was at the time kind of shitty to them,
Also,
like they were to a lot of other people.
it definitely begs the question: had Xbox not spent millions and millions and millions of dollars buying up IP, would we be in the place where we are today?
Right. Had they maybe
Because-
just stopped with like the Bethesda thing. And
Yeah.
even if they hadn't have gotten Bethesda, Bethesda and Xbox were already pretty tight. Bethesda wasn't
Yeah.
putting in a lot
Yeah.
of time developing for the PlayStation 3, and it was kind of yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Maybe we live in a
Here's-
world where Halo 5 was actually a great game.
Here's what I think is now I'm gonna put on my little conspiracy hat and then tell me if you guys think I'm right or wrong. When it comes to the gaming world, obviously you have like Microsoft, you have Sony, you have like Bethesda, Activision, all these companies that
Sega.
want to make you want to make money, and which is true. Now keep in mind that corporate people are often insulated from the artists and the developers from making the game. Now, I'm gonna put on my little conspiracy hat here for a game developer and like the companies. The people in management are often insulated, time and time and time again, from the actual developers of the game, like the artists, the story, the writers, because whenever a game is being released, they have a lot of crunches, or they have layoffs, or even just like the studios get shut down. It's not up to the artist if a studio gets shut down. It's not up to the story writer or the coder. It's not up to them. It's up to the management. And then they're like, you know what? We're just going to cut our losses here. And I find that over the years, especially like the last 10 years, you could see people posturing themselves into places of like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And then in 5 years or 10 years, I'm out and I'm going to get a severance package or whatever. I'm guessing Phil Spencer got a severance package out of this. I don't know that for sure, but it's probably going to be in the order of millions. And he's probably signed an NDA where he can't talk about it.
He technically retired, so he would have, all of his stocks and bonds. It wouldn't even be a severance. It would be Sarah Bond would get the severance because she's out. But
true. But I'm guessing he probably got a farewell gift.
Yeah. I mean, he made out well. He was already a CEO, so I don't feel bad for any of the people that were ousted. But I also don't think he actually planned on retiring. I don't think so either. He likely came to his desk. It was probably Satya Nadella. And this,
like, all right,
he
you
probably
retire,
showed up and
or
he's
we're
like,
gonna fire you.
Yeah. Do you want to go out the easy way or the hard way? And goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this, I
find
you're definitely right.
A lot of the management is definitely insulated from like the layoffs and the crunches, and it's not fair for gamers who love good stories or who love good art or want to just enjoy video games as an escape of reality. And then they have to, even the people making the art, they have to fucking deal with the fucking devil when it comes to management. Right. And to be able to get it to release, because it's not fair.
If you put somebody who also doesn't understand that, like the people that like certain games or enjoy studios, like this Asha, she might be a fine person, but she's a CEO now, so fuck her. She's gonna make millions of dollars and get her bag and get the fuck out, and I don't fucking care. Whatever. But still, if Phil Spencer, like I was saying, he is a gamer, so he understands that if Xbox. If they lay off all of Double Fine, that's Tim Schafer's studio, the guys that make Psychonauts and the day that all of that stuff. If they do that, people are gonna riot. If they close Obsidian because Obsidian hasn't put out like a super culturally relevant game since Fallout New Vegas, people are gonna riot because it's what do you call it? It's the pedigree of these studios that people really care about. It's not. The people don't care if a game doesn't sell more than 1 million copies. The people care about, the history. It's as much history, it's as much art as it is about the money. And the CEO, simply because she doesn't know this, is probably going to cut. She's going to cut. And what we're going to be left with is this soulless thing. We're probably going to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what could be left. Forza is the only thing I can really think of that like they're going to stick with. Forza and Gears and Halo, probably.
Even Halo's just a question of does campaign evolve?
Are they
do good? And does whatever Halo 7 ends up being do good?
Yeah, right. And not only that, but like if you see where Xbox started and what differentiated Xbox and PlayStation. You had the launch of the original Xbox with Halo and how people bought Xbox because of Halo. And then that rang true for Xbox 360. People bought Xbox 360 because of Halo 3. Now, like I bought an Xbox Series X because of Halo Infinite that didn't ship on release. And then on top of that, it wasn't the experience I wanted, and then now I'm not going to probably buy an Xbox again. That's realistically speaking. I don't think I'm going to buy an Xbox ever.
Now
again.
That we have computers, it's we don't pointless.
Have to. Yeah, I mean that's my point.
That's the other thing. Like, what's the point of buying an Xbox if you have a computer? It can run all the stuff. I don't know. We should have a podcast, just like a game cast about how we can fix like Xbox or Bungie, like. how all you'd have to do is just release a Halo with a campaign and tack on multiplayer maps in the classic, modes and not monetize it. Or even if you wanted to monetize it, put in extra stuff, but also have like 12 unlockable things through like beating the campaign with skulls on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you make.
I don't know why that's so hard.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
But it doesn't make the shareholders enough money.
It doesn't make the shareholders
okay.
enough money. Why?
Okay, you
Fuck
say
the
that.
shareholders, God
You
damn it.
say that.
But it should.
But no. Even if you say it doesn't make the shareholders money, but look in the last like 5 years, what was the fucking leading games? I remember Hogwarts Legacy fucking knocking it out of the park, and that was a single player game that did astronomically fucking well.
Right.
Granted, there was still controversy because of J.K. Rowling, but still, it fucking delivered.
It's
and
a
it's
great
a
game.
single player game.
Right. Forza 2, it came out on PlayStation. And I think it sold like 1 million in the first week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
So
it's
it can
single
be
player.
done.
Forza's not really single player, but you play it single player. So,
And then PlayStation's done it with God of War. God of War was fucking amazing.
The problem is they get in their heads. They want to put in as much monetization as they can to try and get something
You
out.
don't need to squeeze the fucking piss out of it.
Right, then
Just
they
make a
get
game.
like
People were tired of it. That's why they're not buying it.
they have like 1 or 2 games that are floated by a few whales. And they think, okay, we can do this for everything, and then they piss off everyone, and then no one buys the new ones.
They're squeezing it for money, but they're choking it to death.
I am convinced that the way to make a forever, the Fortnite type of game is to make a shitty game, number one, that some people are interested in, and then number two, very quickly put in a multiplayer mode that keeps up with the trends and it improves on something.
Yep.
That's the way to do it. Tack on a little bit of a shitty multiplayer.
Yep.
And then just put in, if Halo Infinite had just been like, yeah, we're just going to put a battle royale in, maybe not that at that time, but if they had just been like, yeah, we'll just fucking, here's Infection, here's a playlist for every single thing. And also, we're just going to cut out little slices. We're just going to put shitty walls around bits of the open world campaign map, and we're going to release 12 maps by the end of the first year for free. It would have done so much better. But they had 10 maps, and they had 10 maps for 2 years.
Yes.
And they also they didn't put in a lobby for anything. You had to just go into random.
I know.
What are we fucking
I know.
doing?
When it comes to Halo, I get especially pissed off because
How hard is it? They've been doing this since 2001. What are you doing?
okay, when it comes to Halo, I get especially pissed off because now I love Halo to death. I do. I love the story. I love the game. I have every single fucking achievement in Halo. I fucking love it, all right? But there's things that Halo does that grind my fucking gears. For instance, you just said they had 10 maps and they didn't fucking make another one. And yet, the community of forgers that still hold the fucking game together because of their passion. Halo would not be where it is at all if Forge was never released.
And they didn't have Forge for like 2 years.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, what did they do? Did they just like say, I don't know how to make a Halo game.
This was after they delayed it for a whole fucking year.
Yeah, this is after Halo 5. Halo 5 came out in like 2018 or 16, right? Or something like that.
Halo Infinite was like the most expensive game and because they were doing a fucking brand new engine.
I remember the fucking trailers and like preview ads for it that were coming out like the year it was supposed to come out, and they were like, oh, one year delay. Sorry, guys.
We're like an hour and 20, by the way.
We'll keep going. Maybe this is, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Extra content for the viewers.
Halo Infinite release date. So Halo 5 came out in 2015. Halo Infinite came out in like 21. So that's a 6-year dev cycle for a game that they could have realistically just made like a 5-hour campaign for and put in the standard Halo multiplayer, and people would have ate it up. But no, they were like, we gotta go open world. We gotta make it. We gotta monetize this shit. We gotta put in skins that suck. We gotta fucking for some reason flip the script on leveling up in online games because we think it sucks. And the only way to level up is to do challenges. What are we doing? 343. Who works there? Who is telling you that's a good idea? Is it? Because I mean, if it's a CEO, yeah, I get that. Fuck that guy. But if it's one of you, Go, yeah, Jesus, man.
I
It's
know
not
a
hard.
lot of the
It's
problems.
not hard.
I know, especially when it came to MCC, I know a lot of the problems were they hire in contractors and then the contractors do like their job and then they leave and then someone else has to come in and try to pick up from where a contractor left. And that only causes problems because they have to refigure out what the fuck the contract was doing and pick up from there.
I think-
and then you get patchworks and it's like,
Right.
well, this doesn't work because of this is not right. And then you have to fucking piece together a fucking shoddy ass thing with tape and glue.
Their whole
Like, it's not-
their whole engine was just a
Yeah, the slipstream
fucking
or
mess.
slip-space engine, whatever it was. That's what I was going to say. It was like when the contractors would come in, it would take them months to learn the engine at all, and then when they were done, it was all fucked up because the engine was made by Bungie, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It actually was. But and as an aside, can we just for a moment, since we're just talking about how shitty things are in the gaming industry, when Bungie releases Marathon, and I'm gonna here's my bet, it's going to fail almost immediately, like Highguard did. When that comes out and nobody's playing it, I just want somebody at Bungie to be like, all right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a campaign that lasts about 6 hours if you play right through it, and we're gonna tack on multiplayer. And it's going to look like Bungie games do, which is fucking amazing. It's going to have great gunplay, but that's all we're going to do. And we're going to put a nice little story
nothing
in it.
more, nothing less.
Keep it simple, and we're not, yeah.
Can we even have like, okay, can we stop with the extra bullshit of like, now you can customize your character. Now you can customize your badge. Now you can customize your nameplate. Let's strip it down to bones. I don't give a fuck. Give me a fucking stick shooter and I'll have fun with it. It's
Right.
like,
I will pay $80 for a good game, a good single player campaign game released by Bungie. I'm not going to pay any money for Marathon. Yeah.
now, to Marathon's credit, I did see the trailer. The trailer looks good,
It
but
looks
again,
so
it's a
cool.
trailer.
But it's a trailer for an extraction shooter that through the beta,
Yeah.
people were like, people kind of suck in this game. Like they're kind of assholes. It's not like an Arc Raiders where people are cool sometimes.
Yep.
And there were no open comms. So you can't just be like, hey, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know, man. There's just a bunch of people who
So-
are like putting money in front of a good game. And they're failing. They're failing.
I do want to read
Yeah, read.
the Matt Booty's message because since he got promoted, I have the thing pulled up.
Well,
He says, I read Phil's notes with much gratitude. He has been a steady champion of game creators for our studio teams, and I've learned so much from his leadership over the years. All of our games have benefited from the foundational support. I'm also grateful to Satya for his ongoing commitment to the gaming and holding a vision of how it can connect back to a larger company. Looking forward, I am excited to partner with Asha as our next CEO. For our first conversations centered on her commitment to making games great and the role that plays in overall success. She asks questions, pushes for clarity, and wants our choices grounded in player and developed needs. That mindset matters as the industry around us is changing quickly, how players engage, how games are made, and how businesses, models, and platforms evolve. We have a good reason to believe in what's ahead. The organization and its franchise have navigated change for decades, and our strength comes from teams who know how to adapt and keep delivering. That confidence is grounded in a strong pipeline of established franchises, new bets we believe in, and clear player demand for what we are building. My focus is on supporting the team and leaders that we have in place and creating conditions for them to do their best work. To be clear, there are no organizational changes underway for our studio. Thanks for everything you do for the players and each other, Matt. That's what his message was.
Can I just say real fast? I just now realized his name was Matt because the Booty does so much heavy lifting in his name. I didn't realize we had the same first name. That's crazy. Okay, go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
And
That's
I
insane.
believe he's the guy that championed for a game. Was it Anthem?
Oh, how'd that work
That's
out
an
for
EA
him?
game.
Yes.
I don't know if it,
I
don't know.
believe he was the one that championed for Anthem and saying how great and amazing this game is, and people were like, "No, it's dog shit."
Yeah.
So He is probably just saying the things that will, sound nice and do the pleasantries.
This is corporate speak for sure.
Yes.
I think that
But-
his move over here is probably like one of those sunlighting things where they're like, yeah, you can stay on. We'll just pay you to, because his title is like chief creative officer or something like that, or
Yeah.
not chief creative officer. Maybe that's what it is. But it's just like one of those roles where it's like you just look at games and tell them if they're good. I think they're just going to keep him on and pay him, and maybe he'll be able to tell Asha things probably, but I don't think he's going to be very long either. He'll probably retire soon.
Yeah.
Just the way things have gone. And Sarah Bond, poor girl. She's next in line to the throne. And I think she just left because that didn't happen. So, but also, she's a millionaire, so fuck her. Fuck all these people.
Yep.
I think about that. I'm like, these people, I feel bad for them, but I'm like, no. I mean, they can just go out and buy a jet ski without thinking about it. So fuck them. Fuck these people. I hope they get a little bit of shit in their life so they can experience sadness once or twice. But also, this has been Coffee Talk. Sorry for the extra long episode, everybody.
That's fine. Everybody gets a little extra content.
Yeah, we'll have to come back. We'll have to run it back. We'll just maybe next week or a week after where we just do a video game episode where we try to fix video games and probably fail.
Yep.
I've been Matt. That's been Taryn and Brandon.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
That was a longer episode than I thought, but
that was a depressing one. That's okay. It'll go
Yeah.
on YouTube.
it's fine.
One of these days I'll pay for the podcast service. And
All right, stopping recording.
me too.